Hey everyone, S-Dub Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here in the channel. I like to stop and take the time to rank all the seasons of Ninjago from worst to best because I have finally seen Prime Empire. Please note that everything that's in this video is just my very own opinion. My list is certainly not the right list. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, remember, spoilers for the entire series. Kicking off my list at number 15, we have Day of the Departed. Now, on my last ranking, I did have Day of the Departed higher, but I gotta say that Day of the Departed is at the bottom of the list now because I was just giving it pity points at that time. Like, I do love the animation. The animation is very cool. I like the fact that this animation is actually better than Season 6 and Season 7. I mean, this was like in between there. But it's also just special. Like, Cole deserves his own season, and with Season 13 coming out, and with that focusing on Cole, this has to come in at the bottom of the list because it's just too rushed, too many plot lines. The villains coming back is a great concept, but it's not executed greatly. I like the fact that Cole turns back into a human, but Sensei Yang was not well done. And also, I just hate the fact that, it was just rushed. It was too rushed. We didn't need a special. This could have worked as its own season. This could have been Season 7 instead of Hands of Time. So honestly, this has to come in at the bottom of the list. Coming in at number 14 is Season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, the Fire Chapter. Now, I did have the Fire Chapter higher on my list last time. I was sorely mistaken. I was just giving it pity points then also. The animation is pretty fun, vibrant. I like the color scheme of it. I like the red and the golds and the orange. I love those colors because red is my favorite color. And I like the fact that it focuses on Kai, and Kai is also my favorite character of Ninjago. But in all honesty, the side stories don't even contribute to the main story, and it's just a lot of things that don't go right with this chapter, especially because Kai would never act this way towards Sensei Wu. No matter what mistakes Sensei Wu made, Kai would never act this way. So this was just really disrespectful to his character. I like the fact that he got stripped of his powers and he has to deal with that throughout the season, but it's just not a great idea to have Kai be this way towards Sensei Wu. Coming in at number 13, we have March of the Oni. Now, March of the Oni was one of those Ninjago seasons that I was actually surprised by, and also kind of disappointed by. I hated the fact that it was actually only 4 episodes. I really wanted to see more of the Oni. I wanted to see more of the urgency. I wanted a Avengers Endgame style ending for Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, knowing that we were going to have a new series coming out the following year. But I really wish that this was 10 episodes instead of 4. It should have been 10 episodes, and in all honesty, it just does not work on any level at all. I like the fact that Garmadon's back. He's pretty cool in this mix. I like the fact that he's actually helping the ninja. The Oni are pretty cool. They're pretty cool detailed designs and everything like that. But they're not really good villains. Their motives are unclear. You can't really understand what they're saying because they're speaking in their Oni language. So I don't know what to come of this season, I guess, air quotation marks. Oh yeah, Cole dies, but he doesn't die, so that's kind of weird. I mean, and then Nia killed him, and I don't know why she's still on the team after that, but it is what it is. I digress. It was okay when I first saw it. I love the suits. The suits are actually pretty nice, but all in all, this is just the lowest of the Sons of Garmadon trilogy. Coming in at number 12, we have Season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, the Ice Chapter. Now, after I watched Prime Empire, I actually went back to rewatch Season 11 to see if my opinions changed. Obviously, my opinions changed on the Fire Chapter, and so did they do for the Ice Chapter. The Ice Chapter was actually a pleasant surprise for me because in my last ranking, I had it lower because it was just kind of boring. I really didn't get it. Now I do, actually, since I actually sat down and watched it. I love the anime references, and the side stories actually contribute to the main story perfectly well. I think there's only 2 side stories that don't contribute to the main story, but actually there's one side story that contributes to the main story on Ninjago in Ninjago City. And speaking of Ninjago City, we're not there anymore. We threw that out the way. We're on a new realm. We're with new inhabitants of a new realm, a snow planet, basically. I love that aspect. I think the only thing that I really hate about the season was the villain. But I do love the formlings. The formlings are pretty cool. Coming in at number 11, we have Skybound Season 6. Now, season 6 was actually one of those seasons where I really hated the animation. For some reason, it just felt weird to me. It's like just the same way how Scoob felt weird to me. How they had random zoom ins and the camera was shaking. I like that in cinematic, blockbusters, summer blockbusters, but not in cartoon shows, CG animation. It's kind of weird, and I hated that aspect. But what I do love about this season is that Jay and Nia's relationship has actually came together more, and Natakan is actually a pretty nice, well-made villain. But the only thing that brings this way down for me is the fact that Nia nags way too much. I get it, we need to have female power or everything like that, but I mean, come on, we don't need it all in the show. I mean, we don't need to be reminded every episode that Nia is her own ninja. I mean, Nia, you wasn't even trying to be a ninja before this, so it just baffles me, really. Kicking off my top 10 list, we have the pilot episodes. Any year other than this one, I would have had the pilot episodes at the bottom of the list. But honestly, these pilot episodes are what brought us into Ninjago. This was the first thing that I've ever seen of Ninjago content. Though I did not return for the series until later down the line, I did love this show, and I also love the fact that these characters had different personalities, they were clashing together, and they also were color-coded ninja. What more could you want? Coming in at number 9, we have Hands of Time Season 7. Now, I love the fact that Nia and Kai meet their parents, even though we don't know where they are at this time. I love the Time Twins. Their slogan, control time, control everything, is just amazing. I love that slogan. Probably one of the best elemental powers out there in Ninjago. But the budget was kind of low for this season, especially because it came right before the movie, like a couple months right before the movie. So I guess the budget was kind of low. And they also were a team, I guess you can say, but they were mostly split up, and I really didn't like that. The same thing I really didn't like about Scoob. Same thing here. They also have this brown, orange, blue type of coloring in the background, which is really baffling to me, but hey, I digress. I like the animation. It looks pretty nice. It's just low budget. But all in all, it is a great season, and I love the aspects. And also the suits are pretty nice. The fusion suits are really well made. And coming in at number 8 is Prime Empire. I just sat down and watched this season, and honestly, I gotta tell you, I am surprised. When I watched the trailer, I was not feeling this. I did watch the shorts when they came out on YouTube, and it was pretty nice. I mean, I like the aspect about, like, okay, so these shorts are actually the thing that you need to watch, and then when the series is gonna start right from that point where the ninja can't find Jay. That's not what happens, really. But I love the fact that we don't have to actually watch the shorts to understand what's going on. I love the video game aspects. This is just a pleasant surprise. I was not excited for this because it just did not look good. But the more I watched the season and the more I understood it, I loved it. I enjoyed the season thoroughly because they're trapped in a video game. There's high stakes because the ninja do die. Spoiler alert, but the ninjas do die. It was only Jay left, and he used his last little gaming thing to defeat Origami, Prime Empire. So honestly, I love the fact that they don't have their elemental powers. They can't cheat their way out of the game. It was just amazing. The side stories were fun with Zane and Pixel, and it actually made sense why Zane couldn't go inside of Prime Empire. I thought it was because he was Nindroid. No, he just doesn't want to go. So honestly, it's very well made season. I love the animation. The pixeling is great, and the video game itself is amazing. Coming in at number 7, we have Season 3 Rebooted. I love the fact that Zane's actually the main focus of the season, and he dies at the end, so that was very moving for his character. But I think the one thing that I really didn't like about the season was the fact that it was very short. It had 8 episodes, and it spanned over the entire year. 2 in February, 2 in April, and 2 in July, and also 2 in November. So really, the episodes were kind of spaced out a lot, but actually this was a return to form because Ninjago was supposed to end after Season 2, and they came back with a bang that is season 3. So this season was just amazing. The techno feel is very nice and very well done. I think this season has a better new Ninjago City look than any other season. I mean, any other season just looks like regular old Ninjago. No, this season actually fits the techno vibe. So I really enjoy that aspect about this season. Coming in at number 6, we have Season 1, Rise of the Snakes. Now, Rise of the Snakes was actually the time that I remember watching Ninjago. I didn't get into the series right away until after they got their ZX suits. And I think after the Great Devourer storyline, like that episode after the Great Devourer storyline, I think that's when I got into the series. So, honestly, from the start, I really enjoyed it. I love the golden weapons aspect, the ninjas learning about their new powers, learning about the green ninja. They're bickering back and forth to see who the green ninja is, realizing that it's actually none of them. And the surprise that the green ninja was actually Lloyd was surprising to me because I never knew that. I wasn't going to expect that either. So honestly, this first season is a great start to this perfect series that is Ninjago. Kicking off my top 5 list, we have Season 9, Hunted. Now, Hunted was actually a step backwards for me from Sons of Garmadon. I really enjoyed the aspect about the ninjas being stranded on this dragon island. Did they have their powers, though? I don't remember if they had their powers. I didn't really rewatch any of the seasons. I'm just going off of memory here. But I don't know if they had their powers or not. I think they did on that Dragon's Island. Honestly, I wish they didn't. It would raise the stakes a lot more, but they really didn't use their powers in that season. But I actually thought the two storylines flowing together were actually flowed together perfectly well, and they collide at the end. So honestly, I felt like this season was actually a step backward from Sons of Garmadon, but it was a great season nonetheless. And the storyline in Ninjago City, I think I found it more captivating than the storyline on the Dragon's Island. So, yeah, I think I find that more captivating. And I also like Young Wu. I like Master Wu growing up with the ninja, with his ninja. His ninja are actually teaching him now. So that aspect is pretty fun. So this season is actually pretty good. I enjoy it. Step backward from Sons of Garmadon, but it is better than other seasons that came after it and before it. Coming in 4th place, we have Season 2, Rise of the Ultimate Spinjitzu Master. Lloyd is actually put front and center in this season. He's discovering his powers, which is awesome. I love the fact that the ninja are actually teaching the green ninja to control his abilities so he can become the powerful ninja on Earth. So that's actually pretty well made. I love the suits in this season. The kimono suits are pretty nice. I'm not counting the episodes that came before the Island of Darkness. I think the Island of Darkness from there on is perfection, but because of the filler episodes, it kind of pushes this season back a lot for me. Though I do love the filler episodes. I mean, those were exciting and engaging enough, but honestly, the filler episodes really didn't need to be there just to fill in the season. But it's also great that we got an epic conclusion with the Golden God versus the Dark God. Kicking off my top 3 list, we have Season 5, Possession. Now, Moro is really a great villain. It's just like Arrow Season 5. You have to love the villain, and you have to love this season as a whole. I love the fact that the ninja are actually stripped from their powers, even though I don't know how Moro stripped them from their powers without Chin's staff. I do love the fact that they don't have their powers anymore because they are now vulnerable, and since Lloyd is now captured, they have something to fight for with their vulnerability. So honestly, I love that aspect about this season, and I love the fact that the animation looks good. The animation looks very nice, very well made. Nia becomes a ninja. She's actually learning her powers now. She's not nagging this season. I don't know what happened next season. And then Cole actually turns into a ghost, which is very moving for his character, and which sets the stage for if they made a Day of the Departed season, or if they made season 6/season 7 his seasons. And they also set up Sensei Yang as a great villain. Ron is very cool too. All in all, great season. Check it out. Before I get into my top 2, I'd like to stop and tell you guys that if you are a fan of Ninjago, please check out that playlist down below in the description for everything Ninjago related that I have on my channel. I also do Arrowverse and I also do Marvel, so please check out the description for these playlists. Without further ado, let's get back into the video. Let's get back into my top 2. My runner-up at number 2 is Season 4 Tournament of Elements. Now honestly, anytime on Earth, you can I can name you all my seasons ranked from worst to best, and I'm telling you, Tournament of Elements would have been at number 1. This is just my personal opinion. I honestly think it's at number 2 now, because I love the fact that we have new elemental masters, we have new characters. The ninjas actually use their elemental powers to the test. There's tension, there's romance, there's a lot of things. It's like Empire Strikes Back. Actually, not really. It's like A New Hope, basically. But I love the fact that we're on an island where using your elemental powers is allowed, and I love that. But the Anaconda are just dumb. They're strong, but dumb. The villain is very kooky and crazy, which is not a bad thing. I actually like Chen. Chen is very nice. And Zane coming back as a Titanium Ninja was alright. But I think I just like my number 1 more than this one. Coming in at my number 1 is Season 8, Sons of Garmadon. I love Sons of Garmadon. Sons of Garmadon is the Ninjago season that I would watch time and time again. I would not turn on Hunted. I would not turn on March of the Oni. Even though those are a part of this trilogy, I think this is the perfect start to a great trilogy. This is like if Captain America the Winter Soldier started off the trilogy, then we went to Civil War, then we went to First Avenger. That's how I feel about this trilogy and about this start to that trilogy. I love the fact that the ninjas actually work better as a team here, though I do feel Kai really doesn't act like Kai. He acts like a kid, but I can make, like, I can forgive all of that because of the tone. The new dark tone is actually pretty well made. I like the fact that we have a new Samurai X, which was actually introduced in season 7. The Oni masks are pretty cool weapons. I love the Sons of Garmadon. The Sons of Garmadon work better here than they did in Hunted and March of the Oni. And I just love the fact that the ninjas actually changed the designs. I wasn't on board with it, but come on, you gotta love the designs in this season with the dark theme. The city looks amazing. The animation is perfection. And they just work better as a team with heart, comedy, and drama. It's just a lot. And if you're a fan of Ninjago, even if you hate this season, you gotta admit, this is pretty cool. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please note that everything that I said in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list, it was just my list. And please feel free to comment down below your ranking or your list or your favorite season of Ninjago. You can even add in the specials and the pilot season just like I did. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.